hate puppies. Good podcast.
I feel threatened.
Fuck.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House.
That might be the most vulgar intro we've had so far.
Yeah, that was a little rough.
You just put this one straight into PG-13 territory right off the spot.
Gotta make sure that I remember to hit the explicit button because 30 seconds in we have a problem. Fair enough.
It's just representative of everything
Life at the moment.
How we all feel.
Stuff is a little off.
related to many points for everybody.
I mean, here's how you can tell that it's a weird one. Is this like the first Troy-free episode ever?
This might be the first TFE.
I think.
No, he's missed some.
Has he?
I think so.
Only if I'm somewhere else.
Yeah, maybe. Go back to the record books.
I'm trying to think. I want to say one time you, me, and Ely. I think.
Okay, I can see that. That's how you know stuff's weird, though. When you get to that point,
Yeah.
Right.
it's not a great sign.
I mean, we've already lost half our listeners because they just figured out that Troy's not here.
Yeah. No audio dreamboat? I don't want this.
Or gained 30,000 more. You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? You're welcome. You're listening to Inside the Pallet House, the only podcast dedicated to solving first world problems and helping you figure out what you should be drinking this week or what you should be avoiding at all costs. Hopefully, as you're quarantined in your house, this will bring you some joy. Shit's weird right now.
That's what you do for Christmas, right?
We do have a special guest, though. I'm going to dial in. Very excited. This episode is so fraught with potential technical difficulties.
And just so you know, production side is so high quality, you guys will never know.
Yes.
But just in case,
Seamless.
we've already covered ourselves.
Well, I spent tens of dollars on this setup to make this work. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be sick.
Look, the fact that we got power for the board and the heaters, we're doing well.
Yeah, no power surges. You're paying your bills on time. This probably helps, the podcast, right?
I don't even know. Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm rolling in it. Rolling in it.
All the sponsors.
I saw a lady come out from Chesterfield County Water Service the other day, and that always makes me nervous because the last time they came out, they were milling around my yard. I went out there and talked to them, and they were like, well, you haven't paid your water bill. And I'm like, absolutely have. Like, what are you doing?
I'm a middle-aged white male. I don't not pay my bills.
There's a younger version of me.
Wait. I would have lost like 11 points for that.
I didn't even know how to react. He called me middle-aged, and I shut him out. I'm willing to accept the white part, but the middle-aged thing is a little frustrating because I'm well past middle-age at this point. I am burning the candle at both ends. Oh, no. Jay, how do you feel about that comment? Yeah. It's a little...
Well, he ain't coming at me, so I fit in none of those categories. So, other than male.
Yeah. He doesn't shower. He doesn't drink water. He doesn't need the bill at all. What do you need to get a water bill?
Right.
Don't do any of those things.
I did get nervous,
do
though.
all
She
of
was...
that.
Because last time they were like, you didn't pay your bill. I was like, whoa. Got my wife on the phone. I was like, what's going on here? I know money's been coming out of the account. She's like, I've been paying it. Turns out they were routing it to our old house's water stuff. Like, they never made the swap. So we'd paid for like 6 months to like someone else's house.
The other homeowners are like, honey, I don't know what's going on.
Like, this place is dope.
Oh, wait. It wasn't the other
water.
way around? They weren't paying your bill?
No, they were getting doubled up, just money in escrow over there.
So
No, but I think she was
your
pocketing.
address was still on the other account, effectively.
Yeah.
So when you send in money, they're like, all right, apply it over here.
Yeah, even though we had
Yeah.
clearly told them. But so, yeah, that was like a tense moment. I was like, kids, shower now.
She's turning the valve right now.
But so I like panicked because the other day I walked outside and I saw her there and I was still trying to be nice. I was like, if you're looking for the main water valve, it's on that side of the house. And she was like, oh, thank you. And went out and was like, tink, tink. And like, I just kind of stood there in the yard like, is there anything you want to tell me? And she was like, all right, thank you so much. Was just checking some of the equipment. I was like, whew, going back inside.
Dodge
Are
the
you
bullet.
Are you turning it left? That's all I want to know.
Precisely.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to make a quick phone call. I got a special guest I want to dial in. I'm pretty Well, let's be honest. I'm very
No,
nervous.
no, it's going to be fun.
I don't know that.
Well, and
Well, I'm off to a roaring start.
Yeah,
there we
there
go.
we go. Did you pay your phone bill this week?
I have no idea.
His voicemail is going to be amazing.
Your call has been forwarded to automated voice messaging.
Hello.
Wait. He did. So our surprise guest did say he wasn't getting
He wasn't getting
previous
test calls.
test
yeah.
calls. So you may
That's
want
true, and
to,
he didn't believe me.
Let's hit him up with a text and say, "Hey, when you get a chance, call on into the podcast."
I'm going
We'd
to
love
try him
chit-chat
again
with
because
you."
this is kind of hilarious. Is he was like, no, you haven't, because I've been sitting here all day waiting for you to call.
I just shot him a text.
pick up the fucking phone.
He's like, it's
Two
not.
curse words. We're well on our way.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated
I'm
voice
about to
messaging
put this
system.
dude's number out there.
804.
I'll let him
We've
be.
narrowed
Hey,
it down.
we've got phone is not ringing.
It literally is.
All right. So do we want to give him a time frame
Can
to
he
call in?
you?
No,
That
it's
would
only
be great.
ringing- It's only ringing twice, so it's not going to him.
Yeah. So
It's
he's,
been doing that all day.
he's going to call you.
Is it
That
from
would be
an
great.
unknown number?
If he's dodging me, this guest,
They've cut
I
his.
should
They've
dodge.
cut his water bill.
I should dodge
Yeah.
him.
Pick it up and then hang up.
Hold on, watch this.
This is.
The person you've reached is using a screening service from Google and will get a transcript of this call. Go ahead and say why you're calling.
Oh, that's gonna be. All I know is there's things.
Hello.
What is going on?
Like there's gonna be things being thrown against the wall right now.
We did it. We've got Troy.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's going out there?
Oh, we are doing well, buddy. We were saying this was a TFE, but we teased it, but it's not true. You're here.
Oh, if only it was. The listeners would have been so happy.
It would have been a magical day. The Christmas season. Our gift to you.
It's
TFE.
one of my favorite shows. I can't believe I'm missing out.
I know, man. It's heartbreaking. So officially, the phone never rang, did it?
Never rang. And then when I first called you just now, it said it was being screened by some Google service.
Yeah,
And
well,
Interesting. We don't know what that product's all about.
uh,
Where that came from.
not sure how that happened. I've always wondered what's the voice like on that.
dude, get a freaking iPhone already.
That is, you don't have that. That is a Google screening service, and it'll give me a transcript of what it is you're saying, and then I can decide if I want to pick up or not.
Yeah, and then when you call me, allegedly, air quotes, I mean, you say you've been calling me, and I haven't called. My phone hadn't rung once.
Well, now all of the listeners and everybody here has proof that I've actually called you twice on the air, and both times it went straight to your voicemail.
That's your Google phone working hard.
That is not how that works.
I think it's just the government listening in.
Yeah, so who all's there?
Currently, we got Stu here, we got Lee, and we've got Jay.
Oh, nice. Good crew.
We do have a good crew. We're down one though. Little bummed to have you out, but you have a valid excuse, right?
I mean, I have an excuse. I don't know how valid it is. I'll go ahead and throw it out there. We had, and honestly, I'm going to lead this off by saying I really don't know the scenario. I can give you what the facts I do know, but also know up until this weekend, most of the world was just living their life, doing things. So, we had family members over Saturday for a little pre-Christmas for everybody who won't get to see each other on actual Christmas Day, and that was fine. And then I guess Sunday, had a family member that wasn't feeling well, and she went and got tested, and turned out she had the flu and COVID. So
The double
one. So now my family's vaxxed, on the flu and on the COVID, and we have our booster shots and all that. So we weren't really worried about it, but my oldest son had been feeling a little ill, but he was feeling a little ill Friday and Saturday before the party. But we attribute that to, we had gone out in the neighborhood Friday night for a big holiday party, and he stayed with some neighbor friends, and they have a couple cats, and he's allergic. Then he stayed up till 11:30, so that's not like my kids. They don't stay up late, so he was a little fatigued and a little scratchy on Saturday, and then
So you're thinking it's allergies and lack of sleep at this point.
Yeah, and and you know my son. I mean, he's allergic to cats and dogs and maple trees, and he's also, he's in bed by 9 o'clock every night, and he doesn't do well like most 12-year-olds do when you get them out of their routine. And then Saturday, another family member brought a dog over, so we kind of just assumed all of it was allergies. When on Sunday he didn't feel so well. And then you and I hung out Sunday with some people, and I told you he wasn't feeling well. We assumed it was allergies. Well, Sunday night, come to find out, we found out about the test. And then Monday we take him to get tested. He's feeling okay. And then Tuesday he's feeling way better. And then my second son's not feeling well. So then Tuesday I take him to get tested. Well, today's Wednesday. Come to find out, he does have COVID.
Damn, dude.
He is feeling 100%. He's bored out of his mind. He's still playing outside and doing all the things the 12-year-old boy would do. But we are trying to do our best and hunker down. Luckily, no school this week. I was off this week anyway. But we had a bunch of plans that we've had to since cancel just to try to keep everybody on the up and up. And that's why I did not come to the party tonight to hang out with you guys and do the drink challenge.
Yes, well, this episode's not the drink challenge.
Oh yeah,
that's
next
week, Troy. Maybe you'll feel better for that.
Yeah, next week we'll be doing the drink challenge. Wink, wink. And so tonight's just a regular episode that we're gonna desperately try to get over with.
I really didn't know. I really didn't know what. You and I hadn't talked much, so I really didn't know what the plan was at all for if we were even still doing this or what was going on.
Well, today's been hectic. I got to be honest. Like, I was trying to coordinate this whole thing, and because you and I did hang out, I had to take a COVID test today just to make sure that, everybody here was on the up and up. My wife actually has had one, so it's like there's been a lot of back and forth. Then one of the people who is supposed to be here for, let's just be honest, later tonight for the drink challenge, which will be coming out next week.
Wait, we're staying here the whole week?
We're staying here all week. Yeah, we're locked down.
You're not leaving the man room for the next 8 days.
Y'all are locked down now.
Yeah, so one of the other guys, he backed out. He's like, I'm not doing it. There's just too much risk involved. I was like, I totally get that. So it's been just a lot of like moving parts to try to make this work. And like I said, I called you a couple times, but apparently I'm not getting through. I don't understand. So.
Well, it's also weird, Brendan, because you and I have talked a couple times. Like, it seems like we know a bunch of other people in our group that, it's kind of coming around and going around. And I know in my neighborhood, people are kind of locking it down. And I think a lot of it just has to do with it being the holiday week. And I get that. I mean,
oh yeah,
if my choice were to hang out with a bunch of people and not see my family, I get it. So I'm not mad at it, and I appreciate people doing what they can to, to help slow the roll.
It just sucks, dude. Everyone's getting COVID right now. Like this variant is very different. I mean, it is ripping through, and every single
just
day
spreading holiday cheer. It's all good.
Is it? Don't believe.
I am not cheerful right now.
No, this whole thing is crap.
Yeah, we had reservations canceled, like stuff we were planning to do out.
Everything's shutting down, and I feel like I went to that Carbon Leaf concert the other night. It was last Saturday, and that's like, to me, that is the beginning of the holiday season. I do that year in and year out, with the exception of last year because they didn't have it. It was a bummer, and so I was like, you know what? We're back. We're doing it. And then this whole thing started happening, and I started seeing like the numbers are rising, and my wife thinks I'm a hypochondriac and I'm crazy. And I think the reason she thinks that is because I'm like crazy and a hypochondriac. So I totally understand why she thinks that. But so I'm like, no, the numbers, like this one's spreading very quickly. And so she's like, well, do you want to cancel? And I was like, no, like I have to do this. Like, this is important for me. Like, I need to go.
Yeah.
So I was like, but I'm going to wear a mask. And she was like, all right, yeah, we'll wear masks. So we walked in there, and I'll be damned if it wasn't like, hey, look at the nerds. Look at the two nerds.
The only one?
Yeah, it's like staff and the two of you, and that's it.
And then it got to the point, like, the staff would take their masks off when they were serving drinks, and then they'd see me walk up, and they'd all put their masks back on. Like, and I'd be like, nah, you're cool. Like, you keep your mask off. It's like, I care about me though. So, like, but you can do you. Like, I'm not telling you what to do.
You can keep your mask down while you're making my drink, but when you give it to me,
can you just hold your breath actually when you shake that cocktail?
Exactly.
I really like there to be no air moving.
So
that's a new form of exercise right there.
Exactly. So it was a little weird being the doofus in a mask, but then it turns out like another couple that we saw there, they got COVID, and I don't think it was from that night. Actually, they had been at a big party prior, or like the day before. But all of a sudden, boom, they've got it. So now I was like super psyched that I was wearing a mask the whole time. I was like, hell yeah. Look who's the dork now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I hope it works out for you.
Oh, it won't.
The good news is people aren't getting sick. It's just inconveniencing everybody. So I'm trying to keep a positive. I know I'm known for being negative, but I'm trying to keep a positive outlook on this whole thing.
There you go.
Well, you don't have a lot of options. You can either sit there and be pissed off, or you can sit there and be positive. I would opt for positive.
Yeah. It's going to make everybody's life a whole lot better for you.
It's easier said than done, though, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
especially when like your kids are sick. Like that's got to be a whole different level to it. You know, like you want them to be happy and healthy, and like you don't want them to have to be sitting around not doing anything for the holidays.
But it's weird, you know, and you guys will figure this out when y'all have kids. Brendan and Stu get it. Like when your kids have a quote unquote sick day and they're not sick, it's maddening because
you got to try to keep.
They want to try to keep them in check is like impossible.
Yeah, especially like you said, they're young, they're out of school already anyway. They want to be doing things around the holidays. You know, it's not like when you're in college when you're getting back together with friends you haven't seen before.
Exactly.
But at the same time, I imagine trying to tell them not to do anything.
Because in college you'd feel bad and be like, yeah, but I can power through as well. Now, when little ones are like, if I don't feel bad, then I could go do whatever I want to, and you're trying to hold them back.
Yeah.
That's
the worst part of it. The cherry on top was it was my younger son's birthday yesterday, and his birthday is always overshadowed by the holidays, of course, because it's so close. But to top it off, we had to spend yesterday getting his brain swabbed. So it was like, happy birthday. Here's what you get this year. You get to sit at home and get your brain tickled.
You'll never forget your 10th birthday.
Yeah.
It's the first time I cried.
Exactly.
It's the first time I cried with a swab up the nose.
So I think unfortunately for the last 10 minutes I have been blowing the listeners' eardrums out. I didn't know that, but I went over there to grab a beer, and it was like Troy was in the room.
When you set your headphones down.
Yeah, I was like, oh my, he's so loud.
Well, you have got your beanie over top of your ears, so like the headphones are
you're muffling
going
yourself
through.
to begin with.
Right, so you're on that extra grandpa status.
That's how I roll.
Well, when you got that much gray, you got to cover it.
So listeners, when you go to listen, make sure you have earplugs in, and it'll tone it all down for you.
I'm the audio dreamboat. I project like that. That's how it is.
That's right, dreamboat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something I miss.
This is going to be the listener's first chance to hear you through the phone, Troy. So it's not
Kiss me through the
100% dreamboat.
Yeah, we're gonna end it up that awkward. No, you hang up.
Yeah,
That's what I sense coming. No, you do it. I'll just lay here all night with the phone on. I don't care.
yeah.
I want to wake up next to you.
It's so funny. I have a friend.
Close my eyes.
And good night.
And we're done.
Go ahead, Troy. You're the special guest. We didn't mean to cut you off.
I have a friend whose wife is like that, dude. Like she calls and sits on the phone with him and doesn't say anything. Like he'll take like an hour car ride from work home, and they'll just be on the phone, or she'll call in the middle of the day, and he'll have an earbud in, you won't even know, and he'll say something out of the blue, and you're like, what? And he's like pointing at his ear. It's like,
Well,
you weren't saying anything for 10 minutes.
They've only been dating for a month, though, right?
No.
Because I get that if they're both 16 and it's been a month, then like that makes sense. But if they're married, boy.
married with multiple kids. Yeah, I mean, we all did that when we were in high school. Like you'd watch a whole 4-hour block of TV shows together and say 4 things. I mean,
He was so happy when they came up with the unlimited minute plan.
Like, no, honey, sorry, it's not in the budget.
Yeah, exactly.
I only get 100 minutes a month.
I
Wait,
can
I do
assure
that
you.
with my boss all the time now. Like my boss will come up behind me, and I'm like, yeah. I'm pointing at my headset like I'm on a conference
like
call.
you're on
I
a
just
call.
don't want to talk to him.
He hates.
He's like, I can't stand it when people are on their headsets.
I was gonna say
taking
he hates when
conference
people
calls.
started
I'm
doing
I'm
like.
not on a conference call.
But this
I'm
dude's
just
the exact
ignoring you.
opposite. This dude is actually sitting there with his wife for 6 hours.
But wait, is
Just
that
listening
is that
to
a
it.
trust issue? Like if she can't hear what you're doing?
It's
I
a
don't-
lot of
You
issues.
don't know what she's saying to him. She could be saying anything to him to get him through the day.
Yeah, she's listening to
I
him. Meanwhile,
I
she's got
tread
him on
lightly.
mute, pounding somebody else. Shh, quiet over there.
I tread lightly. I like the couple, so it's
I'm
just
just
weird
joking.
to me. But I would never
Hope they're not listeners.
ask too many questions because what do they say? Don't ask questions to
If you don't want
things
the answer.
you don't want to know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So I take it he is not a listener to the Abacus's point.
He might be a listener.
Hooray!
I know he's listened in the past. That's why I'm not putting that much out there. It's just somebody I know they do the phone thing like
Well,
that.
I
It's
like
just,
it.
I'm not judging. I'm just saying I couldn't do that. Like that
Yeah.
would drive me crazy.
Okay, for the record, Troy's not judging. I am judging.
Informal poll here. We all hate it.
Nope. I like it. I'm into it.
Okay. Jay and Troy.
80% of the people hate it.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't like her being in my ear as I'm like going about my day.
She could be whispering things to you all day long.
Well,
You
maybe
never
she
know.
is. If she's
Yeah.
over there like, I'm going to tongue your balls. I'd be
Exactly.
like,
I'm like, oh,
"Ooh."
no.
Like, hello. That would help.
And then
you
you're
get
like,
through the day.
I couldn't concentrate. I lost 3 sales today.
I can't get up from this desk for hours.
Your production has slowed down a lot, sir. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah, not at home.
I mean,
I got 4 kids, 1 on the way.
I'm living my best life, y'all.
I'm trying to get her out of here so we can get it on and popping.
Is it 5 o'clock yet?
I know what's waiting on me.
She's been whispering sweet nothing since 7:30 in the morning.
I mean, the only time I have a problem with it is when I'm in the area because there's nothing like being
That's
in
right.
the
Don't
area
ask
of
him to
someone
stand.
else with a phone call. Like you can't. It's just awkward. You have to sit there in silence while they're having or not having a conversation.
But that's actually great coming from you, Troy, because I can tell you know, a couple times every once in a while we'll see you, and because of your Bluetooth, you'll be talking up a storm, and we don't even know who you're talking to.
Oh, he does it all the time to
It's
us.
awesome.
Yeah, but I'm on a phone call. But if I'm around people, I try to cut that phone call short because I don't like being on the phone around people.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and plus to your point, doing it the other way around where you just don't know who's listening. Like the guy's not. If you weren't talking, but your speaker was on, and your wife's on the other end just listening randomly, I'd be like, what can and can I not talk about?
Yeah, then it gets weird.
Well, this is why the relationship never lasted with Troy.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "You're not going to stay on the phone." He's like, "I'm going now."
Yeah.
Well, then I'm going to keep looking.
I have this thing called the world to explore.
Yes, I'm a very busy man. Very busy man. What
Well, I
can
know
do?
I know you see it, Brendan, because we've talked about it. Like the kids these days, and I say kids and all encompassing, like they don't like talking on the phone. They text. They do other forms of communication. Like my mom or dad or in-laws or somebody will call my kids, and my kids just sit there and they're like, "Good, fine,
Yep.
good."
Oh,
bye.
you know who else hates talking on the phone? The abacus. He's too young for it.
No, I was gonna say
Yeah.
there's actually like a whole subset of people my age that like dread calling people for work or friends, family. Like the idea of having to potentially talk to somebody on the phone like brings out cold sweats for them. I don't mind it.
Absolutely.
But-
No, but it's just I do feel like I was calling you today because I'm like going around doing things. So like it's much easier for me to just make a phone call versus text you while I'm driving. And
Yes.
so and I know that there's going to be questions. And if we have more than 3 questions back and forth on a text chain, I'm like, we're picking up the phone.
Yeah.
We're going to knock this out in a minute because I don't want to have this conversation over the next 2 hours every 5 minutes.
Well, I
Yes, I agree.
And Lee's the first though. Like literally, I think maybe 4 or 5 times there's been a text that has started between the 4 of us, and the first one to answer is, "Hey, boom! I got it." I was like,
Yeah,
Not everybody's paying attention to their phone that much,
built
but
like
okay.
that. But I was calling Lee, and I was like, I know he hates this.
Nah,
I know he hates it.
But no, there are absolutely people, like I said, especially my age and younger, that dread it. They just really don't want to have any part of it, and it's tough from like a professional standpoint. Like it's part of your job, man. Like
we had people in the office that didn't know how to dial out the office for the like they've been in the office for 2 years.
That's a training issue, really, though.
There's a fire. I don't know how to get the fireman here.
You tell me you hit 1 before the area code?
We have to do this though every few months at my work.
Really?
Where we'll like talk to the new people who have been brought in, and we'll be like, all right, so
what are the things you don't know?
We work better if we just pick up the phone, because otherwise it's going to be a string of emails, and I'm going to fill your inbox up, and you're going to be annoyed. Or we can just talk for like 5 minutes, and then you're good.
I'm the cool boss.
That's like,
man.
Yeah, the cool guy. Come on.
But the problem is you got to follow that talk up with an email to confirm everything you just said in that talk.
Yeah, but you see, I'm in the position where I go, hey, and write that recap.
Who was secretary on this call?
So who actually made a decision on this one? And what was it?
No, I distinctly remember. This was a couple years back ago, but my ex-wife, she spent 3 hours planning a birthday party with our next-door neighbor via text. And I was like, if you just walk out the door, knock on the door, and talk to them, either pick up the phone, wonder, be all over in 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, texting can take so long sometimes.
But I'm into that too, because like you got records of who's doing what, when,
right?
what
No, that's the advantage.
You can reference everything in
No,
text messages.
I prefer a life of no record.
Stu actually doesn't exist in government records. He,
yeah. Stu's never sent a text or an email ever.
He just has like a robot that like smashes keys.
He just shows up at your door or calls you. It's the only way it's done.
He shows up your door,
and
you're
that's
fucked.
how I used to meet all my new friends when I was in grade school. Knock, knock. How you doing? I'm in the neighborhood.
The other day we had to like
text messaging when you were in grade school.
No.
He's saying he in grade
this
school
is not a
he would
thing.
walk 7 miles to the next house, knock on the door, and be like, "Hey, here
Stu
I am."
was around for the advent
Hello,
of the carrier
motherfucker.
pigeon. Stu was like, pigeons, this is great.
They were actually using abacus.
No, the best thing that ever happened to me when I was little was the splicer on the phone cord to get two phones on one house line, so you didn't have to. So you could actually. You get a separate number.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to wait.
I thought
for
you were
somebody
going to
be
say
able
electricity, honestly.
No, these guys have no idea. Like, do you know what Star 69 does?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're old too.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not.
My grandma had a rotary.
You're
phone at
older.
home.
Yes, but you don't have a pager code.
Nah, my dad had a pager.
But you don't have a pager code. Like I'm 04.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I could talk to you. I could talk to you via codes.
That one's over.
I'm circle, dot, dot.
Like Troy could have paged me earlier because he didn't know what I was doing. It would just said 5404. And that's just, where are you? What's going on? Car 54, where are you?
Yeah.
Which is a 1950s reference that I'm sure went over your head.
Absolutely.
But just prior to that was the CB crew, and that was like my freshman year in high school.
Well, it depends where you-
everybody was CBs.
Oh, yeah.
It depends where you lived for that. Like that was very much a out there kind of thing to have.
We're like,
Or it was
"It's
just
the Virgin
or it
Buster.
was just the thing to do in the middle of the suburbs.
That was always the one we always tried to use on the roads. This is a Virgin Buster here. Anybody see any Smokies up there?
10-4, good buddy.
This is a TFE episode. Anybody got Troy?
I just think that name used to elicit responses from truck drivers. They'd be like, "The Virgin Buster." Oh shit, yeah. They would talk to you. That was like that name got them.
You ever seen like I assume that they're all truck drivers, but when they're in like their personal cars and they still got like the headset on, like they're CBing still as they just cruise around in the personal vehicles. That always cracks me up. Like
I did when everyone got the Bluetooth headsets, the little ones that just blink. I went out of my way to get the big doofy trucker headset because I wanted you to know. Like, I hate how it's so small. And now that the AirPods are there, it's already so small. And I never know, but if I have a giant trucker headset on with the whole face mask thing coming around, there is no question what I am up to.
Yeah. Well, I did read something about the whole.
I am not a boomer.
you're crossing into that territory, though.
No,
but like
I'll have you know,
the whole CB chatter between truck drivers has kind of slowed down itself because, like, if you look at Waze or anything like that's
it's gone.
Everything's shut down. The ability you could still reach out and talk to somebody and say, "Hey, you got a cop up there?" Well, odds are everybody knows where he is prior to.
Yeah. Jay, I gotta take
takes
you
the fun out
back.
of
Your
it.
little boomer comment there.
Oh,
You gotta
the
come
boomer?
back. We gotta come back.
Boomer.
You know what's actually making you look old is having that wireless headset in your ear. Have you seen the new trend? That like all of like the younger influencers are
Dog,
all
I'm on
rocking.
TikTok. I'm an influencer. What
Dude,
you talking about?
they are all rocking the wired headset. That is the new hot shit. is to
yeah.
go back.
Fuck yeah! I got a Walkman for you too.
Isn't that where like they hold up the microphone up to so you?
It's
can,
just
like,
now
see it on the
if you
video?
if you look at the younger influencers as a way to set themselves apart. Let me just throw that over there.
Sus.
I'm so furious. I'm just throwing cups.
You know what sucks? Young people.
exactly.
I like young people. I wear a wired headset.
Is this something? Is this something?
I'm young and I know what I'm doing.
Is this
How do
something
you do,
you're seeing
fellow
on
kids?
Brendan? Is this something you're seeing on like Instagram or TikTok or this influencers? Like, where are you
OnlyFans,
seeing these
Pornhub,
people?
Where are you seeing this?
It's on a new social media you guys wouldn't be aware of.
Yeah.
forhims.com.
Oh, Roman.
Yeah. You guys wouldn't know nothing about it. Actually, I'm just chatting my doctor about ED medication.
The doctor's
Like,
wearing it.
that's
And the
what
doctor,
they-
doctor's wearing a headset.
Yeah, that's what the young people do. Haven't you seen the ads? This is what young people do.
My young doctor zoomed me with a headset, and he's an influencer, and he told me this is what I need to do for my ED.
It
Yes.
freaks me out when you see like doctors having or being like influencers where they have like different accounts like foot doctors and like what are the back people called?
Oh yeah, the chiropractor.
Chiropractors and like
realignments.
all these different like people that are like doctors and doing this influence and they're like in their scrubs or in their like doctor coat or whatever and you're like, I don't want this in my life. Like I don't want a doctor
Pimple
influencer.
Popper.
Oh, that I never need.
Oh, hell yeah, you do.
That's gross. I draw a line for that.
Hey,
That
quick
show
question.
is
Okay,
whack.
I got a quick question for our special guest. Are you having to do anything? Are you getting anything work related canceled, Troy? Like fireworks for Christmas that you can't like take care of? Are fireworks a thing at this time
Or
of the
like
season?
concerts in general.
Yeah.
No. I'm off this whole week, so I don't know what's going on. But I mean, it's pretty dead out there right now. I mean, worked a big concert last weekend that had a lot of stuff in it, but no. But I think it's really like Brendan and I were talking about earlier. I think it's coming to a head this past weekend. It's at least locally. It seems like it's just blowing up nonstop. From what I hear, people can't get the instant tests. Like the libraries are all out of them. They're just hard to come by. I think it's just sweeping through the Richmond area right now.
What?
That was Stu.
You thought everybody heard that?
These are not the most finely tuned mics.
Exactly.
Oh, they are dialed in perfectly.
No, our sniffers are dialed in. These microphones aren't. Trust me.
Troy, would you like to trade places?
Brendan's over here just spreading holiday cheer.
Please, I'm back.
So spreading
Double
holiday
tap.
cheer to you, Stu, is a bad thing that I'm getting.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm dropping those other droplets.
Jesus.
The pink eye droplets.
Exactly.
So being
Gonna
that it,
affect that drink challenge.
Oh,
Yeah.
Shit, my drink's over
It's
there
going to be interesting. That's for sure.
so being that it's Christmas Eve, anybody have traditions?
You know, you're right. This is Christmas Eve.
that
Yeah,
you guys do on Christmas? Because like people do presents Christmas Eve. People go to church. People don't go to church. You know, stay up late or whatever. Do you do anything like that with your boys, Troy?
No, we don't do anything out of the ordinary. We don't do gifts. The gifts are Christmas morning. We used to, when I was a kid, we went over to our cousin's house every Christmas Eve, and we're going to start doing that again. Past couple years, but of course it's been canceled again. Past we used to do it, and then in the past 2 years it's been canceled. So who knows if and when that'll start back up. What about you guys?
Well, I was just curious. As a follow up, is everybody a non-Santa believer?
A non-Santa
What the
believer.
fuck? You don't
Like, are
believe-
your kids doing Santa still?
You started the episode with an F-bomb, and now you're just going to start talking about there's no Santa
Just
Claus?
ruining
Brendan,
every
when was the last
person's
time you beat your
innocence.
wife?
Beat? What is happening right now?
You can't
No, it's a joke question. It's a joke question. You can't answer. No, I was just curious. So, like,
Stu's on another level tonight.
I was just going to say never, but I'm afraid, like, I don't know what he's trying to What are you getting at?
What, you mean you don't beat your wife?
If you,
Yeah, what is it?
you can't answer it.
It's
right.
called the rule of thumb.
There's no way to answer that question right. So there's no way to answer the Santa question right.
There is a way to answer the question right. I've never
Believed in Santa.
No.
beaten my wife. I believed in Santa for 12 years.
Where are you going with this?
I still believe in Santa.
We're hung up on the beating the wife part that you asked.
What do you get people for Christmas, you asshole?
Well, again, he spreads holiday cheer by COVID and farting on people.
Okay, so back up. Eliminate that entire past 30 seconds. Troy, do your kids
Troy,
do
to
Santa?
answer
Troy,
your question,
Troy, can I just say something? I miss
Yes.
you. I miss you, man.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
miss you so
Yeah.
much.
I
Every-
miss being there. It's not the same via phone, that's for sure.
You got to get better, man. You just got to get healthy, dude. We need you, man. We need you so bad.
I get pink slips every time this year.
Stu's like, Troy, kids still believe in Santa? Beat your wife?
Yeah,
Jesus real?
we do believe in Santa here. Yes.
Okay.
So, Troy, serious question here.
Oh, no.
Have you ever taken a box of kittens and held it down in a pool?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, Troy,
Ask
I do
him
have
for
a
a
real
friend.
question. I do have a real question. Are you an elf on the shelf family?
Unfortunately, yes. But this year, the elf has been really lazy and has moved about 3 times.
This thing is crazy. Like I don't know Elf on the Shelf that well at all, and the naughty elves that are out there, it's
they're the worst.
crazy.
Yo, Troy, do you think that elf might have been what brought COVID in? Maybe you should get rid of the elf.
That elf.
Again, this is
Oh,
a great
that-
opportunity to get rid of all of these bad traditions.
Yeah,
that
like
you
this
have.
is your chance. Be
No
like,
more Santa. No more Elf on the Shelf. No more reindeer.
The elf is quarantined in the corner for the last
Yeah.
10 days. Can't go anywhere.
like that little shit brick came in your house not wearing a mask, and now
Probably
look.
from China.
Actually, guarantee that technically it was made in China. Which you're on a little edge today too, Lee. I don't know what's going on.
Stu and I are teaming up today.
I see that, and I hate both teams like that you're creating here. I don't. It's very. What is happening? Things are weird. You know that kitten thing you just brought up, though?
Dark.
I do.
Dark.
No, so actually, that's kind of a topic that came in this week. I'm not even
Drowning.
No, slightly different. But okay, there are these in New Delhi in India. There were these 2 simian monkeys, right? And no joke, a dog attacked and killed their little monkey baby, right? And they got pissed off, and so they started going after the puppies. No joke, these monkeys were literally finding dogs, dragging them up onto the third story of a building, and throwing them off. Killed over 250 dogs.
Is this one of those?
This is just 2 monkeys.
2 monkeys.
Because I was saying, is this one of those towns?
No, this is real.
No, I'm saying, is this one of those Indian or one of those towns where you see like the monkeys range free, like they're just in and about?
Yeah.
Everybody, it's part of society. Nobody cares about it. It's like kind of happens.
And apparently, this damn dog came over and killed their kid, and they were like, "I'll be damned." And they started dragging them up day after day, finding puppies and dogs that were small enough for them to carry, taking them up to the 3rd story and throwing them off. So they were just finding dead dogs. And they're like, what the hell is happening? There's dead, splattered dogs every morning here. And then they figured it out. It was these 2 monkeys. They finally had to catch the monkeys and move them to a dog-free zone.
And I live in the 1st floor apartment, and it's raining cats and dogs.
Quite literally.
So it says they also they have been captured, the offending monkeys.
They got pictures of them
Yeah,
handcuffed.
and they were released to
Fuck you, I'm not guilty.
they were released
the glove doesn't fit.
They were released to a forest, but it also says the monkeys were reported to have left puppies on roofs and in trees to die of lack of food and water. They starved and
God.
dehydrated
yeah.
these puppies also.
This is why I don't fuck with monkeys.
God.
No, because they're smart.
They are
and
too
they're
smart.
vengeful.
They're too smart.
There's
This
no way
started
we're,
a
no
month
way we're
ago.
related to monkeys.
We are
A
clearly.
month ago?
Yes, they've been. How do you kill 300 or 250 dogs in a day? It takes
No,
time.
bitch, I'm thinking this is over a year or so.
No,
Like,
they're very efficient monkeys, apparently.
They got 2 hands, Jay, so they can just do it at the
these
same time.
monkeys on some Dexter shit. Like,
Yeah, no doubt. But
we're
that's
just monkeys, but we're going to kill your
That's the
fucking
beauty
dog.
of how smart they are, though, is that they can hold a grudge. Like, that actually takes intelligence to be able to maintain and hold a grudge that long. To be like,
That's beyond my
be
intelligence.
like, I got to take 250 souls. That should probably equate to the
For
baby.
one baby monkey, we're gonna kill 200.
And who knows how long this killing spree would have gone on. Look at the look. He looked it up. Lee looked it up. His face has been ruined. All of that shit talking, all that stuff he's been doing, all this blusterous attitude, it's going away quick. He's like, boy, this is really disturbing.
I've got a very thin exterior
I was
shell.
thinking,
I see that dogs are like your kryptonite.
I was thinking about getting a pet monkey, but then I realized,
That bitch might kill you in your sleep.
where's Lee? He was thrown off the top of the barn.
Oh, all right. So the article I was reading.
That was a really good podcast, don't you think? The last thing you do is apologize for your monkey.
Now you know. Troy, you don't get to hear the sound drops. It's unfortunate.
No, I do not. But yeah, those dogs went all scorched earth. Those monkeys went all scorched earth on those dogs, dude. That's pretty impressive.
I think so too. Like, I'm kind of like, well done.
I mean, that's consistent effort.
It's consistent effort. That's what I'm saying. Like, they had a job and they did it.
They came up with a plan. They
came up with
executed it perfectly.
Now, how do we know that the dog killed their baby? That's the one part. Like, I've read this story and I'm looking. It's the one part that's like, did the monkey go in and be like, they killed my baby?
Yeah,
they killed my
did they
baby.
witness it?
A dingo ate my baby.
a dingo ate my
You know, like, how did they prove that part of the equation, that the dingo ate the baby?
Well, I mean, when you
That is 100% definition of collateral damage right there. One dog did something wrong.
Yeah,
They
and now
took
it's
out
scorched
every dog in their
earth.
sight. Yeah.
All dogs must go. All dogs go to hell, bitch.
Yeah, but you watch all of these episodes on like Discovery. You watch anything about the monkeys, like they're huge families. Like they're all like it's a monkey family of like 20
Where
plus.
you
They're
going
all,
with this, Stu?
I'm just saying it doesn't have to be the kid. It could have been the dad. It could have been the mom. It could have been a cousin. They just know that they all hang out together, and you
We
killed
all
one of us.
riding together.
Exactly. You're gonna.
But they weren't even riding. Like, the rest of the whole group was like, nah, dude. Like, seriously. After the 20th dog, like, I think you're good. They were like, at least 230 more.
And 200 years from now, when dogs get smarter, they're gonna come back after the monkeys.
So, reading an article from Newsweek here, it says they back in 2017, researchers published a study that looked at the social interactions of a particular breed of monkey. They analyzed 500 hours of video, including 15,000 episodes of aggression. They found monkeys tracked their associates' behavior and would carry out revenge. Like, it seems like they just socially know this thing.
Yeah,
Well,
no,
I got a question. I mean, this can't be the first time an animal has killed a baby monkey in the wild. So, like, how does it work when a different animal does it? Do they do that 250 times over as well? I mean,
yeah, I mean, in the wild, yeah, I guess we don't see it as much.
No,
It's
but
just
I
that
would
the ring camera just kept catching dogs dropping. Yeah. Bing!
And
You're
another
like,
one.
oh, what's this?
Whoa,
Fuck!
package.
And another one.
Bing! Oh, God, it's another
one.
Bring God!
Oh, my God, another one.
Lee, where was this exactly?
Bring!
What city? Because I got a feeling this is going to be like
Sri Lanka.
the monkey's reaction is a little bit more so based on where they live, society, and how they interact with like what? Yeah, it's not like they're out in the jungle,
No, they're living in an urban area.
right? And it's more
yeah, there's not a lot of domestic dogs in the jungle.
right.
Yes, I think we.
They're in Sri Lanka.
I don't think
Yeah, I think we.
I don't think the monkeys are going back to
Tower of
get.
Willy Wonka.
I don't think the
Yeah, I
monkeys
think
are going to
we
go
pieced
get
it
like
together.
some wild coyote and rip his family apart.
Yeah, I think in that case they're probably like defending against attacks from
To their
own
territory.
thing. But yeah, they're not grabbing a bunch of jaguar cubs and throwing them off of treetops.
Hell yeah, they are.
Because when was the last time you were in safari? You saw 200 monkeys attacking like a big elephant. Because
No.
that elephant
No.
smashed
Two
them.
monkeys.
Two
Taking
monkeys.
down
Two
200.
It only takes 2 monkeys to kill 250 dogs. These are facts.
Yeah. That's terrifying.
Survey of 2 monkeys, 250 dogs.
Well, I just booked my retreat.
Extrapolating that, we can.
Yeah,
I just booked my weekend getaway to Sri Lanka.
that means 4 monkeys, 500 dogs. See where this is going.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah, 8 monkeys,
Okay. I get that.
1,000
Yeah,
dogs.
1,000.
The math adds up.
Okay. Yeah.
So did they take care of the 2 monkeys, or is this an ongoing thing? And with very shortly shrunk, they have no
What do you
puppy
mean
population.
Take care of them, kill them.
Yeah, I mean you have to.
no, it said they were captured and released to a forest.
Yeah.
So now
My-
that
more
forest
dogs.
is in major
No
danger.
more, no more dogs.
Yeah,
They were like,
more
no,
dogs.
we have a problem over here with dogs in this forest. So
Do you really think though? They say they humanely got rid of them, but I mean, like, you really think they did?
It's Sri
yeah.
Lanka.
I will put it
They
just
got
like
dogs.
my dad put it to me. We had one dog that had mange and went wild, and my dad just said, "Yeah, we went and gave it to a farm."
That's exactly right. And this is basically the same excuse that the story's like, oh yeah, no, we just we put it out in the jungle. Like they're perfectly happy. These 2 monkeys, we would never harm them. They were like
No.
faces of death. These
They
things.
can't do that because them monkeys were. If they smart enough to kill $250, they definitely smart enough to backtrack to where these dogs
Find their
are.
way back home?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not finished.
What were we
yet,
going to say,
bitch.
Troy?
There's only one way they could have done those monkeys right, and that's an eye for an eye. That means chuck them off the tallest building you got.
Hammurabi's code.
There you
All
go.
right. Oh man. Hey Troy, you know what I just realized? I have
What?
no way to do a deli with you from here.
I know.
Because I was about to go get a deli, and now I realize that you don't have a deli. Do you want to hang out with us while we drink? You get to do it like a listener, or do you want us to?
I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up because it's kind of hard to keep up with you guys not being in the room, unfortunately.
We'll try and call
So,
you back if you don't hear
You
from us.
guys
We
go
tried a
do
couple
your
times.
deli, and I will just have to miss out, unfortunately.
Fair enough. All right. So look, but we're gonna call you back for the next episode, right?
If you want to, yeah, we can try that.
We'll talk to you in about 20 minutes.
Sounds good.
All right. I'll talk to you in a bit.
All right, man. Later, guys. Peace out.
Later, big man.
Yeah.
Oh, he didn't hang up.
I'll hang up.
There you go. He's just going to stay on
Are
and
you just
listen.
gonna, like lurk in the background now?
He's not going to ever hang up. He's just going to listen.
I respect that. Oh wait, he did hang up. What? Son of a bitch. He
Call
doesn't love us.
Call him back.
He
I miss
won't
him.
answer.
I
He
miss
won't answer. Dude, I'm excited about this deli this week. To people who are in Richmond, you know the gingerbread stout story from Hardywood. Everybody knows about the vat that spilled and
Oh, yeah.
how kind of at that point the cult following grew. And, of course, it was one of the few beers to ever get a 100 on Beer Advocate. People go absolutely batty over the gingerbread stout. And if you're a longtime listener, you know that we not only drink gingerbread stout every year, but we've often actually gone back in time and brought out from years in the past gingerbread stouts and tried them all against each other to see what's the best. Last year we tried the porter. This year I went up to Hardywood and I was shocked. They had an outside bar set up, and it was the gingerbread Christmas bar. It had, and I'm not exaggerating, at least 15 different styles of gingerbread stout. Fluff gingerbread stout, bourbon gingerbread stout, Kentucky morning, Christmas morning, pancakes, you name it. They had it, and it was crazy. And then I saw something that caught my eye. They have a session gingerbread stout, a 5% alcohol gingerbread stout.
And
I had to grab it.
And it's normally in the 9% range. If I
Just
remember
shy of
correctly.
10.
Yeah.
So this is literally half as strong as your typical gingerbread stout. So what we are going to find out today is how much do you really lose? How much gets lost in translation when you pick up a sessionable gingerbread stout?
And so for the sessionable topic, I know that's something that you and I talk about often. That's something that I look for regularly, especially out of IPAs. Like I really want the flavor,
Absolutely.
but I really don't want a 7% alcohol beer on top of that. You know, like I just want something a little bit lighter. I don't need all of that.
Yep.
So
Same.
to see something like this, which
Game changer for me.
yeah,
That's why there's 2 cases right there.
I see that you went all in.
Yeah, apparently that costs a fortune. I had
They actually
no
put
idea.
gold in it too. I think that's how they cut out the alcohol.
I don't believe it, but they certainly charge it. I bought 2 cases, and I was with a buddy, and I was like, "Hey man, they might have limits, so I need you to like buy a case, and I'll buy a case." And I was like, "Hey, what's the limit restriction on the Session GBS?" Guy's like, No limit. I'm sure there's tons of it around. Probably get some more out back. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, I've never seen this before." And he's like, "Yeah, we released all these other flavors, and then we just dropped this. It's the first year doing it. Like no fanfare, no nothing." I'm like, "This is the smartest thing you've ever done," and you're not even excited.
Yeah, I told you when I walked in. I'm honestly surprised I never heard of this. Because Jay and I actually were at Hardywood the weekend that they had like their gingerbread stout release weekend.
I'm sure this was there, or did they just slow play it?
It was definitely not there that weekend.
We were there the weekend after also.
Okay, but yeah, I didn't see any cans either. Yeah. We were just in a spot where they had draft or pours only.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's to me it's surprising to not see something like this because that is a game changer because a lot of people get turned off I think by 9+% alcohol.
Especially people that aren't really into.
I need to get Stu a soundboard. He's over there like mouthing soundboard sounds. I'm like, what is he saying? He's like, bam, bam. Yeah, no, I literally saw this and for Stu.
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol?
And I bought 2 cases. And
Exactly.
I walked up there with my buddy and he's like, "Hey man, I'm going to do this." He's like, "You bought lunch." He's like, "Let me buy these 2 cases of beer." In his mind,
I need a buddy like that.
I'm sure that he thought
I'm in for $40-$50.
2 cases of beer falls somewhere between $40 and $50. And I'm not really running math in my head beyond, wow. Because I'd bought the beers at the first brewery, which was literally 1 beer. And then I bought us lunch and a beer. And so he's like, "I'll return the favor. I'll buy these 2 cases." The guy rang us up. He's like, "It's $160.
Bitch, you lied.
I looked at my buddy. I go, "Sure you want to buy them 2 cases of beer, buddy?" He's like, "Yeah, man. I got it. I said I'd get them." I was like, "Absolutely not." And I just handed him $80.
Yeah.
And I was like, "I'll let you buy the 1. You still lost."
Did he take any back? Did he take any back with him?
No.
So
he's a dum-dum.
Yeah, I literally bought lunch. What are we dealing with there?
I remember the day.
$40-some dollars, and then bought a
Did you
couple
go to Ruth's
beers.
Chris for lunch? Like,
Yeah,
where
like-
do we do lunch today?
I made out, and on just
With
1
him?
case. Yeah, well, that's these things are stronger than you think.
Brendan did it right though. He took him to a brewery, then he took him to another brewery, then he took him to Hardywood and said, "Buy me a couple cases."
Oh man, it's like when you're a kid in
I
your
feel
toy
great.
store, and you're like, "Oh, I really like this thing over here," and you like hope that your parents get the hint that, that you want to buy it.
So this is very exciting though, because
It's
I love a gingerbread stout. But I tend to have a couple gingerbread stout, and then you wake up, and then you're like,
Oh no! Someone peed in my pants!
and so you have to really be careful with them.
I will say, I wish I'd had a regular one to taste with this.
Oh, I can still remember the regular one from last
Fucking
year.
da. Sorry, I screwed up.
No,
I thought about it when I decided I wanted to drink these. I was like, I want to know how much of a difference there is.
yeah.
But I was so excited, I blew my whole load on Session
sound like you
Gingerbread
at all.
Stout. So I don't have a single
I've been waiting all year for this.
2021 Gingerbread Stout in the house. I freaked out. I
Yeah.
panicked.
I actually have a 4-pack, and I meant to bring tonight because y'all hadn't done one yet, and I was like, man, we're running out of time for it. But I do wish I could have something just as a point of comparison to say, okay, this is the standard. Does it taste the same? Does it have the same profile? But
I can tell you it does. And here's why I know that. Because my buddy had a gingerbread stout, and he goes, "This sucks." And then I gave him one of these, and he was like, "It still sucks." So they taste the same. So that's the only thing I have to go on.
That's very
really
scientific.
similar beer.
This is Inside the Science House.
Inside the Science
Yeah.
House has solved yet another problem.
Well, I can tell you from the brewery side locally, everybody comes in and says, they have their favorite beers from each brewery, but across the board, regardless of what people's preferred taste buds are, everybody kind of is waiting for the gingerbread stout from Hardywood. We get people
Big deal.
We see people that are like, we hate Hardywood, or we see people that we love Hardywood, but everybody's like, I'm waiting for the gingerbread stout every Christmas.
Because we're all idiots. Like we are. We're just like
They got us hook, line, and sinker.
They've got us. No, but it is a people in Richmond.
Yeah.
They covet the gingerbread stout. They seek it out. I still have gingerbread stouts, like I said, from years ago. I've got these things stacked throughout the house. Actually, I could probably find us. Actually, I know I have an ice cold Christmas morning from last year, but that wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just Richmond either. Like, people come from outside of Richmond far and wide to come.
I can tell you they make one at Asheville Brewing Company they call the Gingerbread Stout.
Oh, yeah.
And I actually think it's better than our gingerbread stout.
I think
You wouldn't be. Oh, go ahead.
you're fine.
I was just going to say, you'd be surprised because how much. Well, no, not surprised. Brendan would know this. You guys would probably know this. How much money, marketing, pushing a name brand, having been in the market for a while, but being it carries a lot of weight just regardless of how much you like the beer or not. You know, they've been around for a while. They've got
But they made it because they screwed up. That's where they got the hookup from the 100, right?
Yep.
And then when they spilled that vat, it was the best thing they ever did because then it became more cultish. We were like, oh no, I can't get it. And then someone would wait a month and be like, we have gingerbread stout on tap, and that bar would fill up with people.
Yeah.
It was brilliant how that went down. I know they didn't intend to do it, or maybe they did. It was the most brilliant thing that ever happened. But the question today, the question at hand, is this good? A sessionable gingerbread stout? I can tell you over here, we have a 2. This man over here, his face has scrunched up, looking more and more like a butthole with every single sip.
Look,
I
we
think
love
he
Jay.
agrees
We
with-
love Jay.
That is not Jay. The abacus, I'm telling you, I'm predicting this. The abacus is going to move 2 beads, tick, tick, over to that side of the equation. Lee, why don't you start us off here?
Yeah, I wanted to at least have a 2.5 for this, but yeah, I think it's a 2. It's
His face screamed.
from the first sip. I got extra coffee flavor, like a little bit of cream even in there too. Like it doesn't taste like what I remember the gingerbread stout being. And I don't know if it's the lack of the alcohol, the punch, but the regular gingerbread stout almost had, even not the bourbon barrel one, but even had kind of that charred bourbon kind of smoke flavor to it to me.
Sure.
But this I feel like I'm tasting almost like pure alcohol in it.
Can I ask you a question? While you're explaining, sorry to jump in the middle, are you giving your number off of your nostalgia of the gingerbread stout?
I
Also-
wonder the same thing.
Well,
That's why he wanted to have a gingerbread stout with it, because he's
I know.
like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
there may be part of it, but I honestly don't know the last time that I had just the original gingerbread stout. Like, I don't think I had any last year ever.
Yeah, especially with the recipe changing every year. Like, it tastes different.
Yeah, and
Every year.
that comes from it genuinely is. It's local ginger that's grown here.
Right.
And it does vary, just like a wine can, things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's nostalgia or not. It's gingerbread stout was always something that I thought was good, but never something that got clamored over, other than like those first couple of years.
Like, I'm a full homer. I seek it out. I
Yeah.
can't wait. Like, I love it.
I mean,
So
there
I'm
used to be,
I'm a mess.
like right now, where there's the rush to find all these different bourbons, where people will like hunt out stores. It used to be the same way, where people would track down what grocery stores got Brown distributing
Yeah,
deliveries
absolutely.
that day. They said, okay, this place gets a delivery every Thursday. I'm going to be there at 6 a.m. when they open.
So you're not feeling this beer.
I can't. I don't think it's something that, given the choice between the two, I would take the full-bodied version of it. And
Based on what you remember, though. I do wish we had this year's gingerbread, because what if it's a ginger issue for you?
Yeah, maybe it is. But no, I don't think that the beer necessarily is bad, and that's why I said, like, I don't necessarily want to give this a 2.
Yeah.
But I would have a hard time saying it's a 2.5, like right down the middle, though. It's just,
It's worse than average.
for me, yeah. And that's
Okay.
somebody who wants low ABV beers. Like, I want the option for that, but
I'm sad for you. I'm sad for you. Stu, do you have an opinion here?
So, my experience with the original gingerbread stout.
Gingerbread sprout is good, too.
Yeah, is the overpowering the alcohol content was just something
Yeah.
that just, one, you could smell it coming right out of the gate. 2, this is a lot smoother. And to what Lee was saying. Like he doesn't like it being creamy, smooth, or whatever. I like. God, you guys just we're trying to do something serious here.
That went in my mouth.
What?
Oh,
we were listening to you, Stu.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone's listening to you.
No, I like the lighter ABV. All the flavors are coming through. I'm not a big ginger fan to begin with, and I don't think there's as much of that coming through. I think
so. You like it better?
I like it better because I think the process of getting all the flavors they want with less alcohol is allowing me to taste all those flavors. When you have the higher ABV, I think it gets to Lee's point. It gets strong. You want the kick.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I think the last gingerbread stout I had, I just felt like I was drinking strong coffee, like really, really strong coffee.
And I'm getting a lot more of a coffee flavor than I feel like I ever remember having. And again, I don't like coffee, so that's something that maybe drives that. I don't really love ginger that much, so yeah, I get why this maybe isn't my cup of tea here. But
I mean, if you are a Starbucks cold coffee, like 1,000 ingredients.
Oh, yeah, you love this.
If this is cold coffee, 1,000 ingredients, you're like, I can't even remember how to place your order. This is what's going to come right up for
Stu,
you.
can you put a number on this?
Oh, you're trying to wrap up. I'm sorry.
It's like, bitch, reel it in.
Usually, I do a lot.
Reel it in.
Was it that? I was like, was it that obvious?
Yeah.
I thought I was.
We've only been doing this for a little while. We've only been doing this for a little while.
I thought I was.
It's the nonverbal cue.
I was like, Stu, if you had to put a number, and they're like, all right, fuck you too. That was not the intention. The intention was to get you to wrap it up.
The words that came out of my mouth.
So here's okay. I'll tell you. I can't give it a 4 to counteract his 2. Because if he had to give it a 2, he's got a 2. I want to counteract it by giving it a 4, but it's not a 4. It's a 3.5 for me. I thought Lee would come in more palatable.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked at how much Lee disliked
because
it.
I think this is
a little.
Without you guys yet. I think this is a deli. I think this is somebody that for a gingerbread stout, lower ABV session, put it out there for the Virginia Root series they've got kicking. This is a good beer.
Yeah. So Jay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna let you take anchor on this one. I'm going to go.
Which means if it fails, it's your fault. If it's good,
well, it's never going to get
He's like, I'm going to do 3.
I have my number.
No, it's never going to get a deli because that 2 is a fucking
Hey, Brendan, can we get a score?
Thing's neck.
Can we get a score?
Hey, fuck you and wrap it up.
Wow.
Man.
This is going great.
All the way.
This almost feels like we were drinking a 9% beer.
Okay, so I'm drinking it. I like it. So I'm tasting it. Here's what I like about it. The thing I like the most about it is there's so much like sweetness to a full gingerbread stout. It's like they almost have to like syrup it up a little bit to cover all that booze.
Mm-hmm.
And this doesn't have that syrupiness. I'll be damned if a beer this dark, if I don't actually see the adjective bright. There's a brightness to it that I dig. It's not citrus, but it's in the ballpark.
I will agree.
Do you know what I mean? It's like hiding in the background, this like citrusy brightness that I never would have tasted in a regular gingerbread stout. Outside of that, it does have all of the things that make a gingerbread stout great. It's got the ginger, it's got the coffee, it's got all that weirdness. It's definitely a dark beer.
Do you think the vanilla can bring the bright?
No.
It maybe vanilla creates like a muddled brightness. Yeah. Now you get.
I'm sorry, wrap it up.
I know food profiles. No.
I love Evan J here because he is a food guy. Like you do blogs on this, like you know this stuff. So when I'm like, it's a muddled brightness with vanilla, he's like, yep, I'm like sweet, got one. But I actually really like this beer, hence the 2 cases. So
he had 1 and bought 2 cases.
That is literally a fact. I had
I take
one
that
of
back.
these.
You had 1 and you had a buddy of yours buy 2 cases.
Well, I bought one of them. I had 1 and then I had multiple other beers of theirs. But then I bought 2 cases because I like the brightness. I like that it's low ABV. For me, that's a 4. I think that's a really, really good example of a dark Christmassy beer, and I look forward to drinking this on a cold night. So we have a 3.5. Is that what you gave it?
Yeah.
3.5, a 2, a 4. We are all over the board. Jay, bring us home.
I'm I'm gonna give you my number first, and then I'll tell you why. I think I'm gonna go with Stu and go 3.5. I'm not a gingerbread. I'm not a stout person at all.
Okay.
I don't usually love the coffee notes or the chocolate. I hate the chocolate notes in stouts.
This has some chocolate in it.
I think it has more
Like
coffee than chocolate, and I've been warming up to the coffee flavor more than the chocolate flavor. And I'm definitely not a milk stout person. Like, I absolutely hate milk stout.
This is pretty far from a milk stout.
And it's
though.
far from a milk stout.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's the lighter version of what I remember gingerbread stout to be. That's why I asked Lee, was his number based anything off of
nostalgia?
Nostalgia.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Could I?
Like, this says it's a milk stout with cinnamon, vanilla, ginger, and honey. And I'm a ginger lover, vanilla, cinnamon. Like, I'm in for those spices. And yeah, I give it a 3.5.
So a 3.5, a 3.5, a 4, and a 2. It's just not going to make it
3.25
because of that fucking albatross that you hung on this thing. I respect you for it. I'm not mad at you. I never want to force a deli. So I'm glad to see a little dissension in the ranks because might I remind you?
Oh,
my
wait!
friends
I haven't talked about the marketing.
I'm just saying. I'm saying. May my friend. My friend's, he was right down your road. Yeah. Oh, it still sucks.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, and again, I'm somebody that likes the original version of it, and I don't think that this is. I can't say that I don't think it's bad, but like there is a flavor in this that it almost has an IPA reaction in my mouth where after I swallow it is very dry. It's that like bitterness of the coffee. Like there's a lot going on in there.
I think that's the cinnamon. Cinnamon will dry you out.
Yeah, and it may
and
be.
if there's not enough other crap to cut it, because maybe that's what you're getting is that cinnamon.
Yeah, maybe
is
it's
now
that,
punching through.
That
See, for me,
it,
and maybe this is a good explanation or not, but I'm just going to put it out there. For me, in layman's terms, if you take a chocolate, are you farting on air?
No,
that's
I'm
awesome.
just
That's like the fourth time.
Just waiting to say not. Come on.
Nah.
So I liken it to if you like chocolate, you got real chocolate at the 80% cacao, 90% cacao. Like those people, that, like most of our wives, girlfriends, they want that.
Right. No, it's a dark chocolate.
It's a dark chocolate.
Yeah,
that's the original gingerbread stout.
But this has dark
This
chocolate.
is Hershey's. I know, but this is Hershey's milk chocolate. This is the chocolate bar that you just pick up and
the bastardized version of chocolate.
Right.
For us American taste buds.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's why this commie over here gave it a 2.
Right. He likes
This
he likes
adds
the
up.
true cacao, cocoa bean, chocolate hardcore.
I've heard that about him. Big cacao head.
Yeah. And this is, and I think this being the lighter ABV, 5%, is like. Get there.
Only deadheads have that.
Love the dead air. Way to wrap it up, Brendan.
Oh, Stu, we were waiting for you to keep kicking.
Oh
butt.
no, I was listening to the theme song.
Oh yeah, we can do that.
No, but I think that was a good. I think that for me was a good comparison as far as the true like chocolate cacao. 90%, 80% chocolate bar versus a milk chocolate Hershey's bar that is less on everything, and I like the taste of it.
Yeah, for me, the coffeeness, the bitterness, the dry mouth is really what stands out of that. Where I want it to be smooth, creamy, the vanilla aspect, and it just doesn't have it for me, and that's why I felt
I need to get you a standard gingerbread stout because I wonder if
if you don't mind, I might take one home because I've got some at home to.
I don't have any more.
They are
move about 6 inches over
Dude,
here.
You could take a 4-pack, and I still would not notice.
Yeah. All right. Well,
it's
don't look when I
$18 a
leave.
can.
Yeah, it'll be $75. Apparently, that's
Yeah.
that's the catch.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
You should.
It's worth trying, and that's the way I always feel about even beers that I think are rate low, or even we collectively rate low. It's worth trying to expand your palate. But
I'm honestly shocked though.
I wanted to like this a lot more because you know that I'm somebody that wants to find like low ABV options for stuff.
I know.
And this is something that I like. It should. I mean, 2 and 2 in this case is what the fuck, dude?
Oh,
just checking something.
It's somehow equaling 5 here. Like I just don't like it.
So my ADD just showed up in Lee's lap.
Yeah. Tap's open. He just opened up a tap.
Just wondering what it would do. It'll do what I thought it would do.
Yeah,
it's just sprayed beer. That's
So,
sorry
I mean,
about that.
To my lack of what you guys may assume, when
Okay.
yeah,
The
exactly. You're
everything about you.
gonna assume a lot, but
I'm not even know how to phrase my feelings right now.
like the regular gingerbread stout, or even the imperial bourbon stout we serve at the brewery I work at Kindred.
What?
I can only drink like 10 ounces, maybe 12 ounces of that beer, even if I like the flavor. This one,
But that's why I like this. I can put them back.
I mean, like if I'm going to buy I could drink the full 4-pack in one sitting, maybe, as opposed to getting a 16-ounce can and like, oh, I'm one and done. I couldn't even get through that.
This definitely gives you the option for multiple of these beers at once instead of.
Is that
I'd
side
like-
of the table?
I'd like
Watch that.
For the record, Stu and I are on the same side of the table here.
No one hears this at home. You guys are ruining the pod.
You'd be surprised what you can hear. But no, I do think that this is a nice option for people to say, yeah, I want a 4-pack of this instead.
Because when you get the flavor, if you get the
what
flavor
is
you
it?
like, you want to drink more of it.
Yeah. What is it you said the doctor told you? Like 2 drinks is
Binge drinking.
binge drinking?
Yeah.
2 drinks.
Isn't that what?
Yeah, I think it's anything over 2
Yeah.
is considered a binge drink. 4 is like every doctor in the world agrees that 4 in a setting is a binge drink. I've had
Brendan's only
Yeah,
Brendan's only
count up the tabs.
Brendan's only on his 23rd beer for
3.
the entire
Okay.
year.
I'll consult with my TikTok
Well,
doctor.
next week you'll have you'll reset the clock. Like
I've had 3 drinks. 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
Yeah.
They're right here.
But this is the last one that you'll have this week.
Yep.
Exactly.
And because that's true. That's true.
Because you surely didn't drink anything before we started today. Fresh, clean mind.
You know what? Technically speaking, no. And this one came out of left field. I walk into my barber shop today.
That
And
is an unusual place.
Now we know why he's wearing a hat. They screwed up because they were all
No.
drinking.
This actually looks good because I finally figured out what he's been doing wrong. And every time I go in there, he's like, every time I go in there, he goes, same as last time. I go, yep.
No. So where he went wrong, or you agreed?
No.
to the same bad
I'm saying
thing
it's
over
not on
here?
him. Like there was something about it I didn't like, but I could never quite figure it out. So I was just like, yep. And then like I figured it out the other night. I was like, wait, I think I know how I want this done. And so today I was like, I'm gonna flip it up on you. And I explained it to him, and he's like, well, yeah, that makes sense. So like,
He's like, I've
I
been wondering
can't-
why you wanted to look
yeah,
so
no.
bad all
No,
this
so
time.
like I can't blame him.
No, but his,
You know what I'm
his
saying?
barber's looking at him going, wait, are you Brendan? Or I thought you were Scott. Wait, who's the same regular haircut?
Actually, I partied with my barber the other night, and it was a surreal experience. But I had a full mustache, and I didn't have any of the beard on it. So this was literally the night before Thanksgiving. So I'm just full mustache, and I'm out here wearing a toque and just the mustache. And he walks in, and he keeps looking at me, and every so often in the conversation he'd be like, dude, you look like an asshole. Take that hat off. Because I couldn't take the mustache off. But he's like, that on your head with that mustache, he's like, I fucking hate you. Like, you got to take it off. And then, like, I would go through the night, and then I'd see my hat. I'd be like, ooh, and I'd put it back on. And he'd be like, oh, God, you got to take that off.
I don't know what
dude.
it is about your face, but I just want to
Yeah.
put a fist right through it.
He did not like what he was seeing. And I don't blame him. It's a bad look.
But if you were the artist, wouldn't you want to see your own artwork?
I think so. But at the same time, he's been questioning why I was choosing what it was, but I didn't
Right.
know what was wrong with it. I kept looking at it, and I was like, more moose. And like, I just kind of fixed it, and then I finally figured it out. So I think
So is everything the same length, or are you still going like full rooster?
No, that's what we're moving to a same length
Okay.
up here, and then we're fading it back instead of fading to the side. Trust me, it's a long story. Nobody cares. This is an audio medium. So I can't really explain this to them. But here's what was crazy. So like now that I've drank with him and like we partied into the night.
Yeah.
Like into the night, it got weird. We were out here just pumping tunes and
Fucking?
like having a good time. All that. This dude would never. I said that dude would never.
I heard that.
He's just all man.
You're
He's
just not his type.
Wait, you didn't talk about your haircut while y'all were partying, did you?
No, hell no.
Oh, I was about to
No,
say.
I wasn't going to talk about that.
Don't cross streams. You
Right.
I don't want to talk
business while having
Yeah,
fun.
I don't want that. But so I walk in today, right? And because COVID is like skyrocketing, right? Like everybody I know is getting COVID. People all over. Oh yeah, I know so and so, or this person has it.
It's
I
because
was like,
Santa's traveling, sprinkling the dust. Everybody's good.
It's really might mess up my plan to get a haircut in the near future that I need.
yeah. So today, I had just taken the COVID test. I was like, all right, I'm clean. I was like, I'm going to go in there. I'm going to wear my mask. And so I go in there and I'm wearing my mask. And he's got like 3 people waiting. No one's in a mask. You know, he's not wearing a mask. And I'm just wearing the mask. So he's having to like pull the mask off to do my sides and putting it back on. And then he thought of the one way to get a mask off my face. And I thought it was genius. It was pretty smart. He goes, hey, you're not working today, right? I go, no, I'm not. He goes, man, I got these awesome IPAs from like Reaper City or something. He's like, you can't get these around here, man.
As long as you're holding it.
He's like, you want an IPA? And so he just hands me. So I did have one drink technically like midday.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there and I was like, I'll have an IPA. Of course I'd have an IPA. So I'm sitting in the barber seat drink. And every time, I never knew this about beers in a barber seat. Every time you put it down on your little bib, it just gets hair all over it. I had the hairiest damn IPA.
Well, that checks out, honestly.
I'd look at it, I was like, oh, that's disgusting.
I think that's the way Troy describes most IPAs, is giving you like a hairy mouth.
Yeah.
So.
The best part was, though, that like he's looking at the other 2 guys waiting, and he's like, sorry, guys, those were the last 2 IPAs. And I'm like, this. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like, I'm the man. And he's like, he took the mask. I had it hanging. He was like, let me just put that over there. I was like, well,
he really
played.
disarmed you pretty well.
He did.
He'd be in your pants in no time.
He figured it out quick. He was over here. He watched me drink with him, and he goes, I know this dude's weakness. He figured it out.
Cracked the code.
Yeah, dude. We're listening to Pearl Jam. He's got Pearl Jam.
He's like, yeah, I love that song. The one that, it sounds like the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I know that one.
Yeah, so he puts Pearl Jam on, hands me a beer, and I'm like, mask be damned.
This is great. Can you wrap
look
it
at
up?
that. I must have dropped my pants, too.
I love that Stu's over there. Like, can we just wrap this up?
Next story.
You know what, Stu? Know what you just did on Christmas Eve to all of our listeners?
He started off the episode shitting on everybody, so it's fitting that he just ruins everybody else's fun.
You just ended the
Jay's
episode.
having a blast, isn't he?
I'm having a blast.
Sounded like it.
You just ended.
Shit. Shite. Cheers.
Oh, my God.
We're going to end the episode so that all you dads out there listening can go now spend the next 5.5 hours wrapping presents, trying to get them underneath the tree real quick.
And by the way, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point.
Stu, you ruined it.
Actually, the one IPA in the middle of the afternoon with no insight into why, how that relates to. Actually, it did relate to Lee asking.
He asked me. No, it directly was related. That's how I do this. Someone asks me a question.
Yeah.
I tell a story and related to that
Yeah,
question.
we're just looking for the answer, not the story.
I don't think anybody comes to this podcast to listen to an answer.
We know all the answers.
They would be
You're
led,
finding
they would be
answers
led
here.
astray.
Yes.
Yeah.
No. 4. Texas. I got all the answers.
And
In
now,
that order.
And now our listeners are the smartest
yes,
people
no,
in the world.
4 Texas.
Our listeners are the smartest people in the world. They can walk into anything and say, yes, I know the answer.
Yeah,
Quick.
write it
Yeah.
down, everybody. That'll get you through life.
Go play the lottery, people.
Dude.
Yeah. Pick yes, no, 4, Texas. Nailed it.
I think you can go up to New Rosie's and place that bet now.
I believe you can.
Oh, my God, I've been in there. Woo!
Is that a good woo?
That's kind of a bad.
And by the way, when you're telling these little stories, here's a good idea. Have a point.
Yes. So if you want to place that bet, go. End of story. Done. We're out.
I hope y'all are having fun. We're having fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. I do hope that you and yours are having.
Can we call back Troy for the information on Venmo and?
I don't know it. I will never remember it. I will never remember it.
Don't donate this week.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you and yours do have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday Season, all the above. I know it got weird really quick right at the end. Like all of a sudden the COVID started showing up. Everybody started getting sick, and I hope everybody's okay.
There's one thing you can
Wait,
count
what?
on. There's one thing you can count on is your kids are going to come down, wake you up way too early. You're going to be hungover listening to this podcast. Hope you enjoy it.
the least we could do. No, like seriously, it was literally the least we could
Stu
do.
really put his heart into this one. He really wants the listeners to
Same.
enjoy
It was
this
a great,
one.
it was a great out.
He started off by saying, "Fuck you."
It was weird. It was a very aggressive intro. But, you know, Stu's aggressive. I dig it, man. I dig it. Now, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. If you haven't had a chance, head over to Nectar Sunglasses for a last-minute Christmas gift. It's too late.
Shit.
You can still drop Bowflex in the coupon code
Drive
and get
to
20%
Folly,
off.
knock on Sean's door, and say,
Yeah.
"Hey,
I
I'm for
need
my
these.
sunglasses."
I'll be back. I got to go back and put these in a stocking. So best of luck. And if you need a mortgage, head over to Screen Door Mortgage. Jimmy will take care of you. Now, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you next week. Cheers. Stu's not even going to peace out me, dude.
Well, where's the? That sounds like a pretty good. That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think?
I got that on lock.
Oh yeah.
You do you.
Okay.
Today. Wow.
Peace out.
The last thing you do is that was a really good podcast, don't you think?
That was a really soaking podcast, don't you think?
I think he cut us all off.
The last thing you do is apologize for your monkey.